Lock that roof tight unless you want to get slow cooked. Yes, I'll say it again. Close the roof unless you want to get stewed to the bone. That's exactly what Real Madrid just went through. Arsenal made it happen. And this blockbuster of a match showed you everything. After an explosive first leg, the Gunners came to the Bernabéu and completely bombarded the place. Arsenal made the kings of Europe bow their heads. No excuses, no debates. Arsenal fans, soak it in. Your team just dethroned royalty. And for the rest of you, the hunt for the crown goes on. The pre-game atmosphere was electric, the kind that makes even neutral fans feel the adrenaline. Tens of thousands of supporters surrounded the team bus as it pulled up, giving the players a massive mental boost. It was packed so tight not even a mouse could squeeze through, let alone a person. Inside the stadium, giant tifos covered the stands, painting the image of a king, Real's symbol of dominance in the Champions League. Chants of "Aha! Hala Madrid!" and the thunderous club anthem shook the dome and rolled across the pitch, as if trying to crush the English side's spirit before kickoff. The first half opened at breakneck speed. Bernabéu's pressure cooker atmosphere exploded as soon as the whistle blew. Just 30 seconds in, Jude Bellingham was fouled by Mikel Arteta right in midfield, a loud and clear message from Arsenal: we're not here to sit back. Moments later, it looked like the place might erupt. Kylian Mbappé slammed it into the net off a Vinicius Jr. assist, but the celebration died just as fast when the flag went up. Offside. Mbappé had clearly strayed behind Arsenal's backline. No goal. The emotional roller coaster had only just begun. In the 4th minute, David Alaba flew into a reckless challenge, sliding in and catching Bukayo Saka's leg. The ref wasted no time flashing yellow to the Austrian defender, and from that moment Alaba played like a man on the edge. And who could forget what Saka did to Real's left side in the first leg? Just a few minutes in, déjà vu was setting in hard. The real turning point came in the 11th minute. Arsenal were awarded a penalty after Raul Asensio dragged down Merino in a play that looked like it had already passed. Saka stepped up, but instead of a clinical finish, he went for a Panenka and missed. The chip lacked power, and Real's keeper guessed it right. A save that felt as good as a goal for the home side. Millions of Madrid fans across the globe exhaled in relief, because had that gone in, the aggregate score would have hit 4-0, and that would have been the end of their comeback hopes. On the other side, ghosts of Euro 2021 haunted Saka again. Just over 10 minutes later, it looked like Real might get some justice. The ref pointed to the spot after Mbappe went down in the box, but VAR review showed he'd been offside, penalty reversed. Once again, Bernabéu's hopes were teased and taken away. The rest of the first half was a crossfest from Real. 23 crosses launched into the box, but Arsenal's defense stood like a wall. Partey, Saliba, Kylian, even Rice. They were all warriors out there, shutting down every attack with poise and grit. 0-0 at the break. Ancelotti would need something miraculous in the second half to turn this around. After halftime, Real kept the pressure on, but they lacked that killer instinct to break through Arsenal's rock-solid backline. Tensions climbed. Bellingham and Declan Rice nearly went head-to-head after a heated collision. The vibe on the pitch was razor-sharp, like the smallest spark could ignite a full-on clash. Then, in the 65th minute, boom, the breakthrough. Bukayo Saka opened the scoring after a textbook triangle play with Odegaard, Rice and Merino. Perfectly timed run, no offside, he surged forward and coolly chipped it over Courtois. Classy finish, Arsenal up. And Saka's celebration? A shushing gesture and a shrug, aimed right at the Bernabéu faithful. A bold response to the jeers after his earlier penalty miss. But the joy didn't last. Just 2 minutes later, a defensive lapse cracked Arsenal's wall. William Saliba had a rare moment of inattention, and Vinicius Jr. pounced inside the box. The Brazilian made no mistake, slamming it in to level the match. Over 30 minutes left to play, but even with the equalizer, Real still trailed by 3 on aggregate. Arsenal tightened up immediately, locking down their formation and shutting every door. Real kept whipping in crosses from both flanks, but it was starting to look hopeless. And then, as the match ticked into stoppage time, Martinelli slammed the door shut on any hope the hosts had left. He burst forward from his own half, latched onto a long ball from Merino and coolly slotted a low drive into the far corner, silencing the Bernabéu. A heavy, suffocating silence, the kind that speaks louder than any roar. Arsenal came away 2-1 winners on the night, 5-1 on aggregate, and marched on with swagger. Real Madrid, who had entered the match with a nothing-to-lose mindset, gave it everything. 67% possession in the first half, 23 crosses in just 45 minutes. They attacked tirelessly down both flanks, hoping for a moment of chaos or a defensive slip. But Arsenal had the antidote. Real played themselves into a dead end with an outdated and impractical strategy. Cross after cross after cross, nearly 40 balls were whipped into the box over 90 minutes, but there was no true striker waiting on the end of them. Benzema is gone, Ronaldo is history, and Vinicius, Mbappe, and Rodrigo, they thrive on short passes and technical play, not aerial duels. What Real needed was an old-school number 9, someone like Theo Chalou. Sure, he's not a superstar, but at least he knows how to get in position and head the ball home. The irony? On a night when Bernabéu dreamed of something magical, all they really needed was someone average. Arsenal, on the other hand, put on a masterclass in defensive maturity. They dropped deep, kept their shape tight, and stayed laser-focused during transitions. Every intricate move from Real was swallowed up by the midfield duo of Rice and Partey, while Kylian and Saliba calmly dealt with every aerial threat and cross. The most important part? Arsenal didn't defend just to protect a lead, they knew exactly when to strike. 2 goals, both from clinical counterattacks, said it all. This was a team fully in control of the game's rhythm, orchestrated to perfection by Mikel Arteta. One of the night's standout performers, Declan Rice, couldn't hide his joy. After the match, he shared, "This win means everything. Even before I signed, I could feel the ambition here, from the squad quality to the direction we're headed. The Premier League is brutal, but in the Champions League, we're doing something special. I really believe this club is on the verge of greatness. We all trust Arteta completely. He's world-class. Plus, we've got these exciting young talents like Lino Sousa and Ethan Nwaneri coming up fast. It's the perfect mix. Reaching the semis is a big step. Now it's time to enjoy it." But while Rice was celebrating, this was not a night Jude Bellingham will want etched into memory. Despite his relentless effort across both legs, the English midfielder failed to make a real impact on Madrid's play. Meanwhile, Rice looked like a man at his peak, controlling the middle, winning duels, launching attacks, and anchoring Arsenal's midfield with total authority. Tension even flared between the two at times. Looks, bumps, words exchanged. It left fans wondering, is there a quiet rivalry brewing between these England stars? With the World Cup around the corner, their dynamic will be one to watch closely over the next 18 months. Across the pitch, almost the entire Real Madrid squad underperformed, except for Vinicius Jr. and Courtois. On a night when fans expected fireworks from the most expensive duo in world football, it was Vinicius who stood out alone. He ran tirelessly, pressed non-stop, and fought for every ball. As for Kylian Mbappé, his only highlight was a disallowed goal for offside in the first half. He faded into the background before limping off with an injury. A brutal blow for Real, who are still chasing La Liga and have a Copa del Rey final looming. Today, the king has officially fallen. Arsenal march on, unbeaten in all 4 of their Champions League meetings with Real Madrid. Next up for Arteta's men, a red-hot PSG. As for Real, a full-scale overhaul from the bench to the pitch might now be inevitable.